Hi, in this video, I hope to show you how to find the sample mean, sample standard deviation, and sample variance given a frequency table on an fx-260 solar tube. So to start off with, we're given, say for instance, a range of ages, 3 to 9, 10 to 16, 17 to 23, and frequencies of each of these. Well, on a frequency table, we can't represent all of those values, so we use a representative value, we call it x, and it is the midpoint of those two. So what we would do, if we would clear it, we would go, in parentheses, go 3 plus 9, close parentheses, divided by 2, equals 6. So we would write 6 here. So 3 plus 9 is 12, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Just the same way, 10 plus 16 is 26. Half of 26 is 13. And you would go, clear it, parentheses, 10 plus 16, close parentheses, divided by 2 equals 13. And then 17 plus 23 is 40. 40 divided by 2 is 20. And I'll write 20 here. If you want to do it on a calculator, that'd be fine. Open parentheses, 17 plus 23, close parentheses, divided by 2 equals 20. All right. So since we're going to be doing statistics, we want to first shift and clear everything in shift SAC, which is shift, and you basically want to clear everything in the statistics. Statistical all clear. Now we want to put this in the correct mode, so hit mode and dot. So let me kind of talk about that. It's got to say SD up here. If it doesn't say SD, it's not in the right mode. So you have to put it in the right mode by hitting mode dot or mode period. This calculator doesn't express that to you. In previous versions, it did. It gave a big little discussion up here what all the different ones are. But in this one, it doesn't. So you have to know to hit mode and the period, which is statistical. Now, to hit the number 6, you hit the number 6. Now, how do you talk about a frequency of 9? You hit times 9 and m plus. Then you hit 13 times 8, and your calculator 13 times 8 sum plus. And then it goes 20 times 11, 20 times 11 sum plus. Now, if you take a look at, I'm going to hit all clear now. But let's say, for instance, you want to know, gosh, how many numbers do I have? Well, I have 11, 28. I should have 28 values. If I go look above the number 6 is the n, which is the sample size. If I hit shift 6, it gives me 28 values, which is what I have. In fact, that is a number we may need. So n equals the sum of your frequencies, which is equal to 28. Now, see when I type it, and I don't write it by hand pretty much. So if you add up all the frequencies, that gives you the sum. Now, what we want to find is the sample mean. That's above the number 7. So I cleared it. Shift 7. The mean is 13.5. How do you find the sample standard deviation? That's above the number 9. So the difference between 8 and 9, above the number 8 is the population standard deviation. We'll talk about that in a bit. Right now, there's a sample size, so divide by n minus 1. Sigma of n minus 1 is that. So we'd clear it, shift, hit the number 9, and the sample standard deviation would be 6.003, et cetera, et cetera. Now to find the sample variance, remember the relationship between sample standard deviation and sample variance is if you have the sample standard deviation, you square it to find a variance. So I just simply hit the squared button, x squared, and 36.037, that's the variance. So I used shift, again, remind you, shift 9 gives you the sample standard deviation. Squaring that number gives you the sample variance. Now, there's another couple of things we can do as well. So I'm just going to point this out to you. Like I said, shift 8 is the population standard deviation. Very seldomly used. You probably won't be using it. But I'm just letting you know that that's the population and that's a sample standard deviation. Now, above the number 5, shift 5, is a sum of the x's, which means if I go 6 times 9 plus 13 times 8 plus 20 times 11 equal all that stuff up, it's equal to 378. And then if I hit here, shift number 4, this number, that would be 36 or 6 squared or 36 times 9 plus 13 squared or 169 times 8 plus 20 squared or 400 times 11 equals 6,076. And those are really the ones that you'll be seeing or using with this particular calculator. I hope you find this informative. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.